Welcome back to Pharmacon tutorial. In today's lecture, we will discuss about G protein coupled receptors. So, these G proteins are membrane resident proteins that recognize activated G protein coupled receptors and pass on the message to the effector system that generate a cellular response. They are called as G proteins because of their interaction with the guanine nucleotide, that is the GTP and GDP. These G proteins consist of three subunits alpha, beta and gamma, and this guanine nucleotide bind to the alpha subunit, which has the enzymatic activity and catalyzing the conversion of GTP to GDP. In the resting state, this alpha subunit of the G protein is occupied with the GDP. When the G protein coupled receptors gets activated by an agonist, conformational changes occurs and the bound GDP gets dissociated and is replaced by the GTP, and this is called the GDP-GTP exchange. Now this alpha GTP gets released and diffused in the membrane and gets associated with various enzymes on ion channels, causing activation of the target. Now, there are four main classes of G proteins to produce distinct pattern of cellular responses, and they include GS, GI and GQ and even G0. In the GS signaling pathway, this cyclic AMP is formed from ATP by the action of membrane-bound enzyme adenyl cyclase. This cyclic AMP is needed for various cellular functions like metabolism, cell division and cell differentiation, and these effects are brought about by the activation of protein kinase by cyclic AMP. Here this protein kinase A has four domains, that is 2 regulatory and 2 catalytic domain. 4 molecules of this cyclic AMP bind to the regulatory domain of the pKa and releases the catalytic domain. This catalytic domain migrates to the nucleus and it phosphorylates the CREB, that is the CREB protein. This CREB protein is a cyclic AMP response element binding protein. So this CREB gets phosphorylated and it helps in the transcription of many important genes. Many of the drugs, hormones and the neurotransmitters act on the G protein coupled receptors and produce their effects by increasing or decreasing the activity of adenyl cyclase. So if the GI proteins are activated, it inhibits the adenyl cyclase and decreases the cyclic AMP, and therefore the pKa will not be activated. Another type of signaling is by the activation of GQ proteins, that is upon ligand binding, alpha subunits gets dissociated and activate the phospholipase C, which cleaves the membrane phospholipid, that is the phosphatidylinositol bisphosphate, to DAG and IP3, that is diacylglycerol and inositol triphosphate. This DAG remains in the plasma membrane while the IP3 diffuses into the cytosol and reaches the endoplasmic reticulum, where it binds to specific channels and open the calcium channel. So the stored calcium gets released into the cytosol, which activate the calcium dependent protein kinase C. This protein kinase C catalyzes the phosphorylation of cellular proteins that mediates the cellular response. Now, how this G protein signaling is switched off is that if there are no ligands present, the receptor reverts it to resting state and the G protein exerts its GTPase activity to hydrolyze GTP to GDP, and the alpha subunit will reassociate with the beta and gamma subunit.